Hi there, this is Jennifer with Brome Fields, and today is day 90 of our 100 days of knit stitches. And today's stitch is the honeycomb stitch. It is looking interesting. I really like the inset of this stitch, so I'm excited to watch this one grow. I haven't tried this one before. It is similar to ones that we have done, but the cables are a little different. So this is a series of cable knit stitches. So you want to cast on in multiples of 8. So I have 16 stitches on my needles, and I'm using Lion Brand Woolies Thick and Quick yarn with size 11 knitting needles. And it's an 8-row repeat. So we're going to start on row 1, which it starts off with cables. So I went ahead and I did a few rows, I think 5 rows of just knit stitches. So it gave a garter stitch at the bottom. However, we'll see how it works out at the end, because it kind of pulls, because of all the cabling, it pulls the center together. So we'll see how it looks at the end. So row 1, we're going to start off with a cable. We're going to cable into the back. So we want to make sure our yarn is in the front. So it's a cable for back, which means it's a total of 4 stitches. So we're going to take 2 stitches off of the needle, put it on our cable needle, hold it into the back of our work, and then we're going to knit 2 stitches. And then we're going to knit the 2 off of the cable needle. So bring that yarn around to the back. And we're going to knit these 2 off the cable. And then we don't want the cable needle to go too far, because it automatically goes into a cable for a front. So when you're doing a front cable, you want your right hand needle in the opposite direction. So we're going to cable for front. So we're holding these 2 in the front and the working needle in the back. So then we're going to knit 2 stitches off the needle, and then we're going to knit the 2 stitches off the cable needle. And then we're going to repeat. So that is all it is. You cable for back, cable for front. So we're going to do the back, cable for back. So with our right hand needle in the front, the opposite direction of the stitch, we're going to hold 2 stitches into the back. We're going to knit 2 stitches off our working needle. And I like to pull that through because it's not fun trying to get those stitches back on. So then we're going to knit the 2 stitches off the cable needle. So that was cable for front. So now we're going to cable for back. No, that should have been cable for back. So we had a back, front, back, and now we're going to have a front. So we're going to have the right hand needles in the back, so that we're going to take these 2 stitches off and hold them in the front. Then we're going to knit the 2 stitches off our working needles, and we're going to drop that down. And then we're going to knit these 2 off of our cable needle. And it's kind of hard to see. And we'll go ahead and, so the next row is all purl stitches. So we're going to do a row of purl, knit, purl, and then we'll do another cable row. All right, so now we are ready for row 5. And it also starts with a cable, so it's the opposite of row 1. So instead of cable 4 back, cable 4 front, we're going to cable 4 front and then cable 4 back. So when we cable into the front, we want our working yarn in the back. So we're going to slip those 2 stitches off, hold it into the front of the work, but we don't want too much of a gap there. So we're going to knit 2, and then we're going to knit these 2 off of our cable needle. And now with this in the front, we're going to cable 4 into the back. So we're going to knit 2 or slip 2 stitches off, hold them in the back, knit 2 stitches, and then we're going to knit the 2 off of the back. With the needles holding them and the yarn in the back, we're going to slip 2 stitches off, hold it in the front, knit 2 stitches, pull that up a little bit, knit the 2 off of the cable needle, and keeping our working right hand needle in the front and our yarn in the front. We're going to take 2 stitches off and hold them in the back. Knit these 2 stitches off the needle, and then knit these 2 off the cable needle. And that finishes off this row. And then you'll do another purl knit purl. So you'll have a purl knit purl in between every cable row, and that really gives an awesome texture. Need to figure out a good cast on though for the beginning. So I wanted to give you an example. So this is 16 stitches, that's what we started with. And yesterday's stitch was 17. So you can see how big that swatch is versus this one here. So this, whenever you knit up something in this, just keep in mind it is really going to use up some of the yarn because it creates, it is a nice, squishy, bulky texture. So it's a really neat stitch. Just want to keep in mind whenever you're knitting with it that you're going to need a lot more yarn and to cast on a lot more stitches to get a good gauge for it. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's new stitch, and I hope to see you guys again tomorrow, and thank you so much for watching.